Hey guys, and welcome back to YTNews. In today's video, we'll be showing you guys some of the biggest and craziest BLM protests in the US. But first, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and much more. Hit that bell notifications too so you never miss out on a future video. Right, let's just get right into this. In May 2020, in the wake of the tragic death of George Floyd, the people of Sacramento took to the streets and the turnout was quite staggering, all in support of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. There were some points during the protests where they caused some traffic jams. Despite all that though, it was a peaceful protest and they walked through some parts of Sacramento and made their voices heard. It was definitely something to behold. Next on the list, we have Washington DC, and this once again was a BLM protest that was due to the death of George Floyd. Once again, we see an incredible amount of people on the streets of Washington as they take part in a protest and march. Protesters gathered round near the White House at the Capitol. They were also found at the National Mall and the whole host of neighborhoods in the DC. Once again, it was quite an incredible statement, and you can see by the number of people, it was just surreal to look at. And DC really had the most for this one. Next, we have a BLM protest that happened in Louisville. This protest was quite something, since there were a lot of armed militia members at the protest as well. This sparked quite a bit of a heated discussion from the protesters as they confronted them head on. No violence though, just speaking. A lot of them were puzzled though as to why they were showing up armed to the teeth. Some of the protesters tried to speak with them, but the militia did not want to talk at all. They all had blank stares and just took what was dished out to them. Thankfully, things did not erupt at all. Yet. The protest in Minneapolis turned out to be rather chaotic. Here, the police took major action against the protesters. This protest had the lot. Smoke bombs, police in riot shields, police firing pepper sprays, and much more. It was absolutely insane.
Smoke bombs in the distance, and police have been firing pepper spray to try and disperse this crowd. Hundreds of protesters had gathered here, and now police are trying to push them back to keep the peace. They gathered hours before.
If you thought that was crazy though, then you should have seen what happened later that night. There was some looters that stormed Target, and there was some points during the night where there were places on fire. Check this out.
Overnight, Minneapolis on fire. Protesters leaving an auto parts store in flames. Others seen looting a local Target.
This was quite incredible. This was without a doubt one of the craziest BLM protests that you will ever witness. It was something that you just see out of a movie. Minneapolis definitely takes the cake for this one, and I don't think anyone would disagree. From one bit of chaos to another, we have an incredible event that happened in Portland. At a protest, there were federal agents that came to the scene to intervene at the protest. As you're about to see, things just turned from 0 to 100 real effing quick. Take a look at this.
Federal agents sent to restore order in Portland have poured petrol on disorder. What was a largely peaceful protest has escalated into violence. The main battle line is here, outside the federal courthouse.
It was all happening in front of the federal courthouse. The federal agents have put some fences in front to prevent protesters from making inroads towards the courthouse. The protesters were trying their best to take the walls down. Amidst all of this happening, they were throwing fireworks over the fence. The federal agents replied with some tear gas towards the protesters. Eventually, the agents went a step further into chaos and started firing some rubber bullets at the protesters. This was happening in the dark too, like pretty damn scary. Take your pick at the craziest protests between this and Minneapolis. They are both the top contenders on this list. Baltimore was in flames back in 2015 after some protests erupted into absolute chaos. We're talking about houses and cars up in fire as a result to these protests. Check this out.
Fire
More than a dozen buildings and 100 cars were in flames last night, a fiery epilogue to the afternoon memorial for Freddie Gray.
This was genuinely surreal, like things just went crazy out for this one. Anyways, thank you guys for watching today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, then make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this and much more. Hit that bell notifications too so you never miss out on a future video. We'll catch you guys next time, but until then, take care and goodbye for now.